I feel like the second verse should be higher pitch, like the first verse, until it gets to that second half. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Then you drop it.
Yeah, I agree. Is that the end of it? Okay. Shouldn't have let it. I can do never on the second one because it's longer a little bit. That first one's so fast. Shouldn't have let you hurt me. No, you don't deserve me. Should never let you hurt me. Now I know I'm worthy. Believe to never let you hurt me. Maybe it just doesn't make sense on the first round then. Hurt me. And now I know something you ain't got me. Is what just came in my head, but the words came and went. One more time. I'm trying to type them as fast as I can.
Just winning life. That's how
That's
I take
true.
it. Yeah, because I'm taking it like you're bouncing back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you realize what happened. You're hurt, but you're like coming out of it.
Yeah. Now we finally made it to the end. I will never do that shit again. And I know that I'm gonna win. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like the line could be better. Like,
yeah, it could. Like, word it.
I like the flow of it, but the lyrics I feel like are like
cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to put it like that first and then figure out
yeah
how to make it cleverer.
Yeah, but I like the flow of it. What's going on, guys? It's Sunday morning, 6 a.m. and I figured I'd get an early start to the day. Today's supposed to be, I'm not working out this morning. I'm meeting up with my homie Kiani later this afternoon to hit a workout with him. We'll probably do an edit for that and put it in the vlog. Yeah, since I'm working out later, I figured I'd get an early start on a mix that I have to do. So what I'm gonna do is, a lot of you guys have been buying my Pro Tools template that's on my website. So what I'm gonna do right now is start a mix from scratch. I'm gonna show you guys how I load everything into that template, get it all laid out, and start the mix. I'll show you how I start the mixes that I do, how I try to gain stage so that way I leave myself enough headroom on the mix bus and all that. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in the box and I'll show you guys how I lay everything out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start a new session. So the artist has sent me all of the stems. The song is called The Feeling. And yeah, so I'm just gonna open a new session. I'm gonna use my 2017 mix template and I'm just gonna title it The Feeling. Let me go to his folder. All of my sessions are saved to an external hard drive. So as you can see here, just a Glyph 1 terabyte hard drive. I go to music. All of the artists that I still have sessions for, I don't keep everyone's, or if I haven't worked with the artist for a couple years, I'll go through and delete it. I need to probably get better at that just to free up space, but I keep everyone on an external hard drive. Everyone has their own separate folder, and I'm just gonna go into The Feeling and title the session The Feeling. All right, so there's a couple ways to go about importing stems. So you could go import audio, and that used to allow me to import the stems. For whatever reason, I'm not sure why, and if anybody knows, comment down below and let me know why this is happening to me. But anytime I try to import this way, it does not work anymore. So now, in this way, it's easier anyways, in my opinion. I just go here, drag and drop. And I love working with my guy Dewey because, as you can see, everything is labeled, everything is sent properly, everything is bounced down the full length of the song. And we've got 44 tracks here, so this is going to take a second to load. I'll go ahead and speed through this, and I'll catch you guys once everything is loaded. While those tracks are loading up, I've been looking at the UAD version of Auto-Tune. I demoed it, and it's super dope to be able to track with Auto-Tune without latency. It's super stable. You don't have to tax your computer. Obviously, with the Apollo, you can choose to print the effect or not. But any UAD users out there, you know, we all got emailed a $50 coupon. So I'm thinking about using it on this. Trying to decide if I should go ahead and get it or wait till Black Friday. I don't know what type of deals they'll have on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, whichever one, but I don't know, man. I've been thinking about getting this. Comment down below, let me know what you think. So everything is loaded up. I love getting sessions that look like this. Everything is labeled, everything is bounced the full length of the song, everything is organized. It makes my job as a mixer so much easier. Artists, please, if you are watching this, look at these files, please. This is how you send files or stems to a mix engineer. So yeah, take note. Makes my job so much easier. It allows me to just simply get everything routed and get to work instead of being like, oh, okay, is this part of a lead vocal? And this is the part of a lead vocal. And then trying to like almost comp together a lead vocal track or whatever track. Is this an ad lib? Oh, here's another ad lib for the same. You know, it just makes life so much easier for me. So I appreciate this, Dewey. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just get everything routed. I'm gonna play a little portion of this.
Feeling like we're rolling in a Benz. Now we got the feeling like we made a lot of ends. Now we got the feeling.
Now we got the feeling, right?
Now we got the feeling like we're gonna spark a trend. Now we got the feeling like we're rolling in a Benz.
All right, cool. So, and this is probably, I've worked with Dewey for quite a while now. He's actually from Australia, I believe. So shout out to my guy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this routed. So we have an 808. I'm gonna just send that to the bass sub. Okay, then what I do is just I start going through, and I like to start routing my bass, and then I try to find, you know, kicks, snares, things like that. And I just kind of go in order of how my template is laid out. So I see a kick here,
Got the feeling like we
and I'll just go through, see if I see any other kicks. Nope. So I'm gonna bring this up. Kick. So here, as you can see, I have the kick track, and I routed it to the kick sub. We also have a kick parallel track that I can use if I want. And let's see. Then I know I have snares next. So here's a snare. Here's a snare.
like we made a lot of ends.
I'll go ahead and group that in there. Usually with the snares, I'll put any snare, clap, snap, you know, anything like that. All right, so I think these three will work. And to route multiple things at the same time, I just hold, for Mac users, I hold Shift, Option, and then I just click and route to the bus that I want. Now you can see all three of those are routed. Next, I have different percussion elements. So that's going to include cymbals. What is this click track? I may put this with the snare track. No, I'll just put that with the percussion. Yeah, so cymbals,
It's pleasure.
clicks. hi-hats. Another hi-hat. And yep. So I'm going to put that with the percussion. Again, shift option and perk. Next we have our samples. So here I'm putting any of the melodic instruments. Okay, so now as I play the song, everything is routed. You'll be able to see that everything is coming through these stems, then to the submix.
Now we got the feeling like we're gonna spark a trend. Now we got the feeling like we're rolling in a Benz. Now we got the feeling like we made a lot of ends. Now we got the feeling.
So looking down here at the submix, I see that I really only have about a dB of headroom. What I see a lot of people doing, and I feel is a mistake, people that lay their sessions out this way or have my particular template, I see a lot of people coming to these aux tracks and just turning down the fader here, but these faders are post the inserts. So what that means is everything that's coming into these aux tracks are hitting a pretty high level going into any processing that you do on these inserts, and then you're turning them down post fader. So to get a cleaner sounding mix, what I do is try to really work on gain staging before the tracks hit any sort of plugins. So that way you're not clipping the plugin. So what I do is just come to the tracks and turn them down by clip gain. Okay, so I'm gonna just turn them all down by -6. I don't know what my obsession is with -6, but I just always end up going there. So I'm gonna speed through this. I'm gonna turn everything down by -6 and we'll go back from there. All right, so I've turned everything down. Now if I play the track.
Now we got the feeling like we're gonna spark a trend. Now we got the feeling like we're rolling in a Benz. Now we got the feeling like we made a.
So now you can see I've got about 7 dB of headroom. So a lot more room to work with. None of the tracks are going to clip the input of the plugins. I feel like that's something that's really boring and doesn't seem like, okay, teach me how to EQ or compress, or how did you do that effect or whatever. But to me, whenever I'm listening to some of my favorite mixes and I'm trying to get to that point, there's really just this overall pristine or just clean. And I'm not talking about clean like it doesn't have any sort of filling or analog fill or distortion or whatever. I'm just talking about like the high end feels pristine, and it just feels like, I don't know how to explain it, but I've noticed that whenever I've given myself more headroom and I'm not clipping plugins and things of that nature, everything feels a lot more towards the level that I'm trying to take the records, versus whenever I'm not allowing myself to have any headroom and I'm just really clipping these plugins. I'm clipping my mix bus as I'm trying to mix and all this stuff. So give yourself headroom. You're going to get a lot better sounding mixes. They're going to feel just a lot more open. You just give yourself room to work. And, you know, as you saw, I have 7 dB to play around with. You know, as you start adding EQs, compression, you start boosting with EQs, things like that, it's going to get a little bit louder. But by the time, you know, this is ready for mastering, I'm still going to have a lot of room to work. So I'd say that's the most important step when starting your mix, is giving yourself headroom. Okay, so then from here, what I do is, depending on the record, what I'll do is start messing with just the overall levels of each individual track. Knowing Dewey, I know he kind of bounces everything at as far as the overall balance that he likes on his rough mix. So I don't really have to do too much of that with his, but I'll probably still do a little bit. But yeah, going through and just getting levels for each individual track is super important. That it takes you about 70% of the way there, as long as you have clean recordings. Then what I'll do is just kind of start treating my sub mix. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now.
Feeling right.
Yeah, happy Happiness is not the same as pleasure chasing.
So when you have a lot of tracks like this, one thing that you could always do and keep in mind is, I know that with the template, I have the individual aux tracks that I use, but then, you know, within those, you could, you know, all of these percussion tracks, you know, if you want, you could get all of the hi-hats and create an aux track just for the hi-hats and then route that track to percussion, which I may end up doing, things like that. So just whatever makes your, you know, your workflow a lot easier and smoother to work. Or if you don't have a lot of CPU and you know that you're going to process all of the hi-hats in a similar way, you know, you can just do it on the aux track versus going through each individual track. So that's something to keep in mind as well. You know, as I mix, if I have a lot of tracks, like this record is quite a bit of tracks, I'll do that for, you know, the hi-hats and the percussion section. I'll probably do that with a lot of the different samples. Any elements that are kind of the same that I want to process the same, I'll just send those to their own individual aux and then route that aux to the sample track as well. So that's something to keep in mind as well that you can do just to add to the template and make your workflow even easier. Okay, and I'm not going to take you guys through the whole mix, but I will take you through me just setting up the submix.
Feeling right.
Yeah, happiness is not the same as pleasure. Chasing something superficial leads you on a path to lesser. Measure life by what you've got. Boy, you've made an error. You may have a lot of golden jewels, but never find life's treasure. Chances are you've set a goal. Will you ever reach it? Expectations high. Don't make that shit too easy. Find love in the struggle, and you just might find yourself. Joy comes in the journey, man. Don't sweat the end result. What I mean is plateaus come and go. Sometimes you'll reach crazy heights and sometimes you just won't.
That's right.
Own it all, big homie, maybe one day shit will blow.
Yeah.
Let go of the dollar signs and let that feeling flow. Now we got the feeling like we're gonna spark a trend. Now we got the feeling like we're rolling in a band. Now we got the feeling like we made a lot of ends. Now we got the feeling.
Now we got the feeling right.
Now we got the feeling like we're gonna spark a trend. Now we got the feeling like we're rolling in a band. Now we got the feeling like we made a lot of ends. Now we got the feeling.
Now we got the feeling right.
Tell me what you're feeling, then I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah.
Ask me who's the realest, I will need to lead you far. Deal with your emotions, don't just drown them at the bar. Now you're peeling back unspoken truths, embrace those inner scars. You're gonna live your life denying sense. It's easier to block it, but you'll never learn the lesson. Separate the ego, be receptive, let those feelings flow. Gradually they weaken, fall away, and you just let them go. And it's okay for you to feel real sad. Ups and downs are part of life, the good comes with the bad. People take wrong actions, but
Okay, so I usually just start with setting up some sort of tape emulation. Then a compressor. As you saw, I was demoing between the Neve compressor and the SSL. I just liked the warmth of the Neve, so I ended up going with that. And then I'll add a EQ. So, and I usually go with the Pultec. As you saw, I didn't boost anything, but just the overall vibe of the sound. If I take it in and out, you can hear the difference. Just that the EQ itself is adding to the sound.
Feeling right.
yeah, happiness is not the same as pleasure. Chasing something superficial leads you on a path to lesser. Measure life by what you
Just kind of warms it up some. So yeah, I'm gonna end this here. I am going to, I know a lot of you guys will probably ask, you know, a lot of these sounds are mono, and just hearing the record through my headphones right now, it sounds extremely mono. So I'm gonna do another video on how I make these tracks sound more stereo and really make the track feel a lot wider and bigger than it's currently sounding. So I'll do another video on that. But yeah, I'm gonna end this here, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the vlog.
And F on the and F on the